Hello, Iris J here with Madrona's Pulse Teachings, Astrology for Healing. I hope you're doing well. I would like to chat with you relatively quickly about this full moon that's happening on September 29th at 6 degrees Aries. So we are fully coming into the full moon illumination energy in Aries. I have another video that spoke really generally about the full moon energies. I want to speak with you about something that is much more specific, that is much more important, I think, for the energies that we might be starting to feel, which is part of why I'm putting this out. And that is just a theme that's going to be with us through October. And that is absolutely coming up in this Aries full moon. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. Please subscribe, get all the updates that I offer about how these energies are working with us. I usually post a video every Friday or Saturday, and then I usually try and throw another one in, like this one is just randomly coming in midweek. Okay, so we have an Aries full moon. And what's so significant about this Aries full moon is that its ruler, Mars, is at 21 degrees of Libra conjunct the South Node. Now that right there is really significant because this suggests that there is a very active call to release our drive in relational ways of being and one-on-one relational ways of being that are not serving our true self. Okay, I know using language like our true self, our authentic self, is sometimes difficult because there's so many freaking layers pasted on us by early childhood, by parents, by intergenerational lineages, by society, by media, by all these places. And it's like, well, what is me and what isn't me? And this is part of what the journey of adulthood is all about and what individuation is all about, if we use that kind of language. And it's about getting in touch with this more authentic sense of self. Now, we are in the realms of astrology and spirituality, so this is absolutely about what my soul is here to sing in this life. And Aries is all about that energy. And so that ruler of Aries, Mars, is there with the South Node, who is working its way through Libra, who is trying to clear out the aspects of being in relationship that aren't really honest. And so this full moon is about getting really, really honest with ourselves. It is inviting us by releasing that energy of Mars conjunct the South Node to come more and more fully into feeling who I am right now. Okay, that's the first piece that's really important. Second piece, the nodes are squaring Pluto. Pluto, who is retrograde in Capricorn, who is about to station direct in October, who is about to move through and will be direct in our next lunar phase of a new moon, which, what do you know, is also an eclipse. And what do you know? It's an eclipse at 21 degrees of Libra. Okay, it's a solar eclipse, which means it's a new moon at 21 degrees of Libra. I'm going to have, of course, another video on eclipse. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I love me eclipse seasons. I love the energy of eclipse season. I love the potent energy of alchemizing and change and transformation. And that's what eclipse season brings us into. And this full moon is ushering us into eclipse season. Mars is the ruler of this full moon is at the degree point where we're going to have our first eclipse in October, October 14th. Okay, and then our second eclipse is going to be on October 28th. So it could be kind of charged in the next few days. There could be a push and pull of how we're showing up in one-on-one relationship, of how our habits, that the South Node has been working on this, and we're going to keep working on it for another year or so. The South Node helping us to release these energetic habits of being in relationship that are keeping us from expanding into our truer, authentic Aries primal fire self, okay? There is a lot out there that just talks about Aries as rash and selfish, and that is not Aries doing its Aries thing. Aries doing its Aries thing is a pioneering, courageous spirit that is willing to go to places that in Libra, when we're trying to weigh everything out and getting overwhelmed by the pros and cons, sometimes in life, it's about everything coming into alignment in an embodied way, feeling it, trusting it, and moving with it. That's Aries. Aries feels it and trusts it. Does Aries have a shadow? Of course it does. Every single sign has a shadow. Every archetype has shadow. But this energy is not about us focusing on Aries shadow. It's about us focusing on coming into what we feel an authentic self is, what our truth self is. And it's a lot of energy, because it's energy that is literally carrying us into then the solar eclipse. That's carrying us into eclipse season. Eclipse season is portal season. It's when there's a new moon and then a full moon close to the nodes. And so the fact that the ruler of this moon is there conjunct the south node. The nodes are square Pluto. Mars is also square Pluto. It's just in a wider square. But you know, that Pluto is so important because we're entering whole new cycles during eclipse season. It's asking us to break cycles that we've been with for a while. I'm going to talk about this when we really open up eclipse season. But Pluto is going to be direct during eclipse season. That's really significant. And in this full moon, Pluto is still retrograde. Okay, so this is absolutely working with habits that we've carried with us in our past. This is also karmic. This is past life habits. We don't need to know those stories. We just need to know how they're showing up in this life and really be intentional about what is my authentic self calling. If I struggle to feel those primal fires within myself, what is my fear in feeling them? Who am I afraid of letting down? Why shouldn't I follow what my instincts are telling me to do? Whether that is pursue a different type of career, or whether that is go study something that makes no sense, whether that is go take a trip when you shouldn't be taking a trip. Anytime the shouldn't comes up, that's a sign that our overanalyzing, trying to appease the powers that be that live inside our psyche, sweet Libra, is overcompensating. And this full moon, this energy is asking us to come into being with ourself. And our ruler of Libra energy is Venus, and Venus has been on a radical transformative journey through Leo that started this summer, and now, you know, she's been reborn, and she is also going to be the ruler of both of our eclipses. And yet during eclipse season, she's going to be in Virgo. But right now, during this full moon, she is still in Leo. So there's another connection that we can root in here, that this act of honoring what we feel, especially if you are someone who has structured your entire life around the narrative of being of service, of taking care, then I'm going to go ahead, because coming into Aries might feel like being selfish, but it's not being selfish. It's actually working during this full moon with self-love, because that's what Venus is also bringing into the story. And we're going on a whole new journey of the Venus cycle, honoring a passionate self-love so that we can be of service, so that we can love others, so that we can honor our values that are coming into alignment with Earth consciousness, and start doing something as human beings in a collective that is not about destroying our resources, other species on this planet, and each other. Okay, that's the collective energy that's shifting. And for that collective energy to shift, we have to come into our own soul song's alignment and journey. And this full moon is really asking us and empowering us to do that. So this is a little extra. And if you want more, you can listen to a lot more of the talk of the energies in the other video about the full moon. I'll drop that link below. But that's it. And I hope you are all well, and full moon blessings out to you. Bye.